under the AWS cost management. About AWS pricing, guys. So we have discussed the three specific things, how exactly it is charging. So it was charging for uh, compute and storage and network. So these all are the three agent. These all are the three agent for it. Uh, it was charging. It is the fundamental agent on AWS will be charging. Apart from it, it gives us a tool, guys. It gives us a tool, or you can say it's a website or web application. It does not require any kind of account, nothing it does required. If you go to the Google, if you write AWS pricing calculator, the website will open, and in that website you will be able to get the monthly estimated cost. Let's suppose if you are selecting your workload, whatever you need, if you will select according to your workload, it will give you the monthly estimated cost, and it will also identify few opportunities so that you can also reduce monthly cost. Let's say if there are some info which you should follow to reduce the charges, that also you can see, and you can use templates to compare services and deployment model. But you have to make it sure whatever you are seeing into the pricing calculator. So the actual charge in pricing calculator charges will be approximate same. It will not be exact same. Approximate, it will be same. For example, let's suppose if I'll show you here AWS pricing calculator. So it is just we are using AWS pricing calculator to create the estimate, and estimate of whatever the workload, whatever the resource that you want to create in the cloud, those resources estimation you will be making by using this price calculator. You have to just write in the Google AWS pricing calculator, and it will bring you on this website. How it does work, if you see, you will open the AWS pricing calculator, and the second you will add services, you will configure that particular service, and after that you can view the estimated cost. For example, let's say if I'll give you one estimate of any specific service. Let's say you can select the region means geographic area, that you will be learning into the next document in detail. You can select a region. Let's say here I'm just selecting Mumbai, Mumbai region, or Hyderabad also you can select. Hyderabad is also one region. You can select this region, Hyderabad, and after that, which service you want to use. Let's say some of you are familiar with EC2, so I'll select the EC2 service. And EC2 service, if you select, guys, if you configure EC2 service, now you have to just set up this service. You have selected EC2 service under the region called Asia Pacific Hyderabad. Now, what instance you need? You want that should be your instance. The hardware should not be shared with somebody else, or you can take shared one because you want that the pricing should be low. As per your EC2 instance, you can see here the Linux is the operating system which you are taking, so the pricing will be different. And if you take Windows Server, the pricing will be different. You are talking about one virtual machine only. Now, if you take two virtual CPU, half GB RAM, and storage, you will be using the same direct attached storage, and then this is the pricing. See, guys, let's you first the on-demand pricing. So the third option you see, this is the first one, this one, third option. This is demand. On-demand means how much you will use, that much you have to pay. So how much monthly charges are coming? 2.04 per month dollar it is coming, right? 2.04 per month dollar it is coming if you are taking two virtual CPU and half GB RAM in Hyderabad. And if you reserve it, if you reserve it, here you can see the first option now, compute saving plan. If you reserve it, then you are reserving it for 3 years, 3 years, and you are not paying any upfront cost. Then the charges will be coming $1.02 per month. See, it is just half of it. It is just half of it. If you use on demand, more price, and if you reserve, you will be getting less price. There is also some saving plans. If you go ahead with that saving plans, then you will be getting more discount, as you can see 0.88 per month. And if you pay all the upfront cost at once, how much amount is coming? $26, 26.28. If you will take partial payment, so 14 it is coming. If no upfront cost, then this much is coming, right? This is for 3 years, guys. Let's say if I'll select all upfront cost, will be coming $26 for 3 years. In, in your which one? Saving plan. So these all are the purchasing options, guys. And before using what do we say, your any resource, what we can do is we can go to a estimate, in where from where you will create the estimate from the AWS pricing calculator. And in the same you will be having something called spot instances also, where you will be getting somewhat more, the best discount which you are going to get into the spot instance, that you will be learning in future. So overall, this particular calculator tells you whatever the virtual infrastructure you are using, what all are the operating system you are using, either you are using Windows or Linux. Let's say Linux is open source, so the pricing will be low. When you will change it to Windows, pricing will increase because Windows need license, as you can see 5.33 per dollar per month. Like, guys, let's suppose I need 2 GB RAM, sorry, two virtual CPU and 16 GB RAM of Linux. How much cost will come? Can anybody tell me? Two virtual CPU and two virtual CPU and 16 GB RAM. How much cost will be coming? Anybody? In EC2 instance, can anybody tell me? Two virtual CPU. The requirement is two virtual CPU and 16 GB RAM and Linux machine. How much it will come? The cost of it. Anybody? Guys, are you getting my question? Two? $2. You are talking about on demand? Perfect. So, uh, perfect, perfect. So, what we will do is we will verify in front of you all itself. So, let's suppose we are using one machine in which should be of 2 GB, two virtual CPU, 16 GB RAM, and it should be of Linux, not the Windows. So, here it is Windows, and we will make it as a Linux. So, now if we see, on demand price is coming $2 per month. Very good. So guys, this is how you can calculate. Let's suppose in the same machine you want to use some storage also. You want to use some storage. Let's suppose you are giving here IOPS, and here you can give the GB. GB, let's say you are giving 1000 GB, 1000 GB, and value in Mbps pi. Let's show the calculation. So this is again a calculation showing you if you are running EC2 along with the EBS storage, if you are taking, so how much charges will be coming for that storage. 165 US dollar, because the speed I have taken, and so many things, guys. You can do the calculation over here, and after that directly you can go into the cloud and you can use it. So this is your AWS pricing calculator. And then cost of ownership. When we talk about total cost of ownership, guys, so as you know, in traditional infrastructure, or sometime we used to call it on premises, sometime we used to call it local, the total cost of ownership will go to the company, it is which company is setting up their data center. But here in the cloud, here in the cloud it will go to the AWS or the CSP, cloud service provider. It will go to cloud service provider. Now you see what all are the cost and what all are the method that has been given, what type of charges will be coming up here. For example, the first type of charge, the equipment you will use, for that you have to pay. IT resources and administration. You will use IT resources for managing that. You will be having administration for it. You have to pay. Facility contract you have to do. The cost of scaling up you have to pay. Means these all are the additional charges you have to pay along with the setup charge. And here you can see pay for what you use. Means you will rent whatever you are using accordingly, and improve time to market. As the market will improve, time to time your resource prices will be low. You can scale up, scale down in a limited pricing model, and it is a self service infrastructure. You need not to talk to a third person to get the infrastructure. Directly you can take the infrastructure services from the cloud. So what is exactly total cost of ownership? So total cost of ownership is a financial estimate, guys, which help you to direct or indirect cost of a system. Whenever you will compare the cost of running an entire infrastructure environment or a specific workload on premises as compared to AWS cloud, it will be always high. Budget and build the business case for moving to the cloud, that you will be seeing up into the what do we say in your cloud uh, transformation, which I have told you. Uh, there is one architect, right? Well architectured framework in cloud adoption framework. In the framework you will be seeing in cloud adoption framework. So what all are the cost you are going to consider for total cost of ownership? Let's say server cost. You have to pay for this locally if you are setting up the data center, for hardware, server rack, chassis, power, distribution, switches, operating system, virtualization license, facility cost, space, power, cooling system. For storage also, all the storage stuff, administration cost and facility cost, space, power and cooling. For networking, again networking hardware, networking software and administration part, and again the entire facilities. At the end of it, IT labor cost also you have to keep with the server administration cost. But what if you are using the cloud? If you will use the cloud, this cost will not be there. Simply you have to just pay whatever you are using as per their pricing model. So this is the end of this AWS infrastructure overview. Guys, in this topic specifically, in this topic, you will be seeing how AWS Amazon Web Service has distributed 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 their infra infra globally. How they have distributed their infrastructure globally, or whenever we are talking about distribution of infrastructure, so in short you can say the data center. If you need to understand on your POV, on your point of view, it means that how they have distributed the data center, how they have distributed the data center. So some of you might be having a question in your mind. Easiest thing is to distribute the data center is in one country one data center, in one country one data center, in some country two data center. They do not have that much money also, guys, like where they can keep the data center in almost all the company, all the countries. Along with that, there are few countries where the users are like anything. For example, India, US, a and some other countries, like you can say, what do we say, where the IT is leading now, France, like that. Few countries there, they are keeping so many data centers. Along with that, there are some country there is no data center also. So they are keeping up their infrastructure based on the customer need, based on the customer need. Where they do have customer, they are keeping the data center. So they are not following the country based solution. They are not following the country based solution. So what they are doing, how they are following, what all are the things under the distribution of AWS infrastructure, that we are going to see by using this document. And within this document you will be able to understand everything. So, what will be the agenda of it? You will be able to understand AWS global infrastructure and its features. If they are distributing their infrastructure globally, so they might follow some strategy, and that will further converted into the feature of AWS. Next, you will be they have distributed their infrastructure in three different things, as you can see: regions, availabilities, and availability zone, and points presence, that we used to call POP. Points of presence, that is called POP. So guys, let's try to understand the global infrastructure. So AWS build their global infrastructure for some purpose. What is the purpose of building a global infrastructure? What was the strategy which they followed to for the distribution of infrastructure? Means how they have distributed their data center globally in different countries. So what was the strategy behind it? So they wanted that it should be flexible. It should be flexible. Flexible means, let's say they said, I will divide. I will divide this globe. I will divide this globe. Globe means the entire world. I'll divide this entire world in region, in different region. In different region, I will divide. And according to that region, I'll be keeping my data center. So if I divide, that is their statement, guys. If they will divide, if AWS will divide as per region, region is nothing but it is a geographic location, guys. It is a geographic location on global map, geographic location. So they said, if you are keeping multiple data center at multiple location, so what will happen? Let's say if it is not working, you can use this one. It will be flexible. Let's say user is here. If user wants to use this one, user can use this. Or user wants to use this one or this one. It is completely flexible in terms for user, so that user can use any reason. Any reason user can use. So it's completely flexible. So that is the first strategy that they select. like if we are keeping multiple data center, and we should allow all the user should be able to access those data center, all the users from anywhere they are. Let's say they are from Canada, they are from Ireland, London, Stockholm, they are from any specific globe, any place from the globe, they can use any one of the reason. So it is a flexible. You can use multiple reason also. It's a reliable also, guys. When we talk about reliable, reliable means it is all about if you are using this reason, Sao Paulo reason if you are using, and you kept your data here, you kept your data here, but you want to take the backup of this into Cape Town. If you want to take the backup of this into Cape Town, South Africa, so you can keep it. If it is not working here, you can start using Cape Town. Or if you need to keep the backup here in Mumbai or Singapore, you can keep. So it's reliable and it's a scalable also. Scalable means if you are using Sao Paulo, right? And if you want to scale up means using multiple reason. You can use multiple reason, you can scale up yourself, and it is secure also. It is secure also, and it will provide you the high quality of global network performance. Global network performance means one country to another country, they are connected with high performance network connectivity. And if you see, guys, if you see here, this diagram shows the 24 current AWS region. It is in 2020. It is into 2020. It is into 2020, guys. And now it is 2025. So it is not 24 now. If I'll tell you now, AWS is having how many reason? 35 reason they do have. 35 reason they do have, which is completely deployed reason they do have. They do have 35 reason which is completely deployed. And they have divided, guys, they have divided their global infrastructure distribution in region, availability zone, and point of present. Now how exactly it will look one by one, we will try to understand, and I'll bring you to this picture after that. Once you see one by one, this is the global infrastructure, this is the global infrastructure, this is the globe, you can say. This map is of the globe, and AWS is having 35 region now, and within that region multiple availability zones are there. So how exactly it has been divided and how the data center is coming, let's start knowing from one by one. So when we talk about AWS global infrastructure, so I have told you the purpose how they have distributed. Now they have divided the globe. AWS people, they have divided the globe map in multiple region, multiple region. Now what is reason, guys? What is reason? Reason is nothing but it is a geographic area. It is the geographic area. Reason is geographic area. And what is the purpose of dividing into the region? The purpose of region is, let's say, if I do have, let's say, this is one region and this is another region. This is another region. This is one region one and this is region two. If they will divide this into two different region, it means that this region R1 will be separated or separate region. This will be separate region. It means that isolation. It is isolation, or reason 1 is isolated from reason 2. It means whatever the things are there into R1, whatever the things are there into R2, they are they are different from each other. It means that there is no what do we say, it is different one. Let's say if I'll tell you as a person wise or other example, let's say you made a house, and in the house you have created rooms. So one room you call it as a room 1, room 2. So if you need to go in room 1, you can go in room 1. Whatever you are doing into room 1, whatever you are doing into room 2, those two rooms are different because they are isolated. That's why we are calling it as a two room. Like the same, reason is one geographic area. Guys, reason is only area. It is nothing, only area. They have given the name of that area. They have given the name of that area. And if you see in detail, why, what is the purpose of making multiple reasons? So the first purpose was uh, isolation. Isolation. One reason will be isolated from other, and second reason was fault tolerance. Fault tolerance. Or you can tell it as a single failure also. Single failure. So what will happen if this is one reason and this is another reason? Either you can keep all together, or you can keep one reason here and one reason here also. Why I am keeping it together? Because I want to show you this isolation also. This reason is separate, this reason is separate. So isolated means this is separate reason. Now fault tolerance means if something isn't working here, you can use the second one. The same thing, single failure means something get fails here into R1, you can use R2 reason also. Reason is nothing but it is the geographic area. It is the geographic area. And within the geographic area, you will be dividing as a availability zone. Within that, you will be dividing it as a availability zone. For example, let me find out the blank place anywhere. All right, I'll just bring you there only. Just give, my cursor is not so fast today. I need to change it. All right. So reason we have seen. I'll just mention reason also. What exactly the reason? Reason is geographical area, right? Isolated from another reason to provide best possible fault tolerance. Guys, when we are using fault tolerance, so some of you might get confused what exactly the fault tolerance. So I do have one example for you all to understand. When I'm using fault tolerance, there is one example. Let's suppose, how many wheels are there in the car? Any guess? Anybody? How many wheels are there in a car, guys? Four. No, four are not there. Five. Five wheels are there in the car. That is the standard. Five wheels are there in the car. Let's say this is your car. One wheel is here, another wheel is behind that, like the same. And one we used to call it as a Stephanie. So now, uh, let's suppose you are driving this car, and meanwhile it will get puncture, or it will get burst. Then what you will do? What you will do, guys, if your tire will get puncture? The first thing, you will you will bring your car. uh, you will keep side of the road. You will keep one side of the road. And second thing, you will call your office people or your colleague, like you will be late because of your car. And third, you will contact to the car mechanic and all. Or what you will do, you will just remove the wheel, you will just remove the wheel, and you will remove the wheel, and after that you will bring this Stephanie, you will fix. Meanwhile, your car will be into downtime. Correct? Am I right or not? Meanwhile, you cannot use your car. Meanwhile, you cannot, you know, use your car parallelly. You cannot uh, uh, drive your car whenever the tire is punctured. So, keeping keeping four wheel plus one additional wheel for future problem, if problem will come, you will replace this wheel. It is all about high availability. High availability. You can keep one more wheel, two Stephanie you can keep, but that is not the problem. Anyhow, you have to stop the vehicle and then you have to change that. So it comes under high availability. Wherever, if you have a aeroplane, if you have a aeroplane, let's say there are two engine, primary engine and secondary engine. So if primary engine will get fail, we cannot stop and repair that, and we can keep working on it. If primary will get fail, immediately it will switch to secondary one. And because there it does not support the downtime, it does not support the downtime. If it will be downtime, the aeroplane will go down like anything and the people will go up like anything. Correct? Harshvardhan, am I right? Anmol, the aeroplane will come down and people will go up. Correct? So that's why we are keeping up a secondary one, and once the primary will get failed, secondary will come up into the picture. This is considered as a fault tolerance. Whatever fault is coming, you are avoiding it, but whatever the fault is coming, you are avoiding it, and you are keep getting the output, keep getting the services. Like the same, if one server is getting fail, immediately it should go to the second server, or if one region is fail, immediately you should move to the second region. There is no downtime in between of it. That's why we use this concept of fault tolerance here, not of high availability. That's why I have told you, region is a geographic area isolated from another region to provide greatest possible fault tolerance. Greatest, greatest, greatest. Greatest means the top one. Greatest possible fault tolerance, or best possible fault tolerance also you can say. Now, right now, AWS is having 35 region. You can count out 35 region. And within one region, guys, within one region, let's say now we will be talking about within one region. This is the region, right? This is a region. Region name you will write in small letter. Small letter. Region name you will write into the small letter. Like US East, US West. So these all are region only. These all are the region. In India, Asia Pacific, like that, Mumbai, like that it will come. I'll show you. So region you have seen. Now within one region, even though we are dividing region in a zone wise we are dividing the region. Locally, even in general language also we do divide the region in one zone, two zone, three zone, like that. So what exactly AWS has done? AWS has divided region in multiple zone. One region in multiple zone. So if it is a reason, let's suppose if it is a reason, this red one is reason. This red one is reason. Red one is reason. Red one is reason. And now it has divided. The reason we have divided into two part. We can call it as a availability zone. This will become your availability zone. This is one zone, and this is one zone, and this is your second zone. I have created two two separate zones. This is availability zone 1, this is availability zone 2. So you will divide further the region into availability zone. Region into availability zone. And AWS follow one standard also. Within one region, you can have you can have more than two availability zone. Two are like that. Az should be more than two, like this. Az should be within one region, within one region, within a region, within a region, either two availability zone or more than two availability zone will be. One availability zone or sorry, two availability zone or more than two availability zone will be within one AWS region. Now, what is the reason, guys? What is the reason? What is the reason? Reason means not this reason. Reason means this reason I am talking about. What is the reason behind dividing a region into multiple availability zone? What is the not don't use reason. What we can use at the place of reason, guys? What is the what is the what is cause we can say? What is the cause of dividing a region into multiple availability zone? So the cause is so simple, the reason is so simple. So let's suppose this is your one region. Within this region, if you have created two two availability zone, so what is the output you are getting in your mind? The first output you will get in your mind, this both availability zone is into a single region. If both are into a single region, it means that they will be close to each other, close to each other. Once they are very close to each other, it means that the data transfer will be fast or slow, guys. Data transfer will be fast or slow. Data transfer will be fast here. And that is what we used to call latency. Latency will be high or low? Low latency. Data transfer is very fast means low latency. Latency will be low. Latency is all about delay. Delay. There will be less delay if speed is fast. So whenever we are telling what is availability zone, so availability zone is the division of region. It is the division of region. It is the division of region where availability zones are connected with each other to provide with each other to provide what they will provide, the best low latency. Best low latency. It means that if you upload the data here, let's say it is one more, let's say I am keeping one more availability zone. So this region is having three availability zone: AZ1, AZ2, AZ3. So I have told you, if you upload the data in AWS within any region, it will replicate your data into three different three different availability zone. Three different availability zone. So let's suppose it will upload your data here, parallelly it will upload here and here also. If latency will be low, and speed will be high, then only uploading will take less time, and speed is high, so that if it is uploaded here, from here immediately here and then here. So even though in future if you need to transfer this data from this availability zone to this availability zone, it is connected with the very fast speed, you can easily transfer the data. You can easily transfer the data from availability zone 1 to availability zone 2. So if you are saying, if you are remembering only 2 points when we are talking about availability zone and region. So availability zone is all about division of your region in which are connected to provide the best low latency. In region here you can say best low latency you will be getting here, and whenever we talk about region, it will give you the single failure output, so you can switch to another one, that is nothing but fault tolerance, we can say fault tolerance, we can say. So here you get fault tolerance, here you get low latency. That is the main purpose of dividing the region into, sorry, dividing the availability zone within the within the region. Now if I'll show you one more picture, guys, you will get a complete idea of it. Let's suppose this is your one region, right? This is your one region. Within this region you have created multiple availability zone. So how much minimum availability zone we can create? Two. Maximum there is no count, but you can get nearly 7, maximum 7. A B C D E F, E F 6, not even 7, 6, I guess 6 or 7 in between of maximum availability zones are available in few region, not on in all the region, but in each region, or you can say in almost all the region, you will be getting two or more than two availability zone. Now where will you keep the data center? So your data center will be inside the availability zone, inside the availability zone. Now there is again one number stuff, like within one availability zone minimum one data center is necessary. Minimum one data center is necessary within one availability zone, or more than one data center, more than one data center. So if I write, if region is one, you are selecting one region, it means that minimum availability zone you will be getting two, and within one availability zone you will be taking minimum one data center. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? And we have seen three four part here within availability zone, region, and data center. One more thing we can see, that is points of presence. What is points of presence? And you can call it edge location also. Edge location, there is a small difference, but for now you can consider POP as a edge location. So what is edge location? For example, your reason is Hyderabad. Hyderabad is your reason, and within Hyderabad you do have your availability zone, right? Availability zone, let's say let's speak like this. This is Hyderabad. HYD, Hyderabad is the reason, it is reason. And we have divided this region into two availability zone, AZ1, AZ2. AZ1, let's say Nanak Ramguda, Nanak Ramguda, and AZ2 is somewhere nearby the airport, let's say airport of Hyderabad. So these two availability zone we have selected. Now within this availability zone, one data center minimum you will be keeping into this availability zone one, which is into Nanak Ramguda. So this is one data center which we kept into Nanak Ramguda, which is practically it is available there. Now what if traffic, what if you want to watch a movie, you want to watch a movie. You want to watch a movie. And which is on Netflix. Netflix, which is Hollywood movie. And which is stored somewhere into the US server. US server, the movie is available here. And you are using Netflix, so this is the Netflix URL. So what will happen? Traffic will go to the Netflix, from where the traffic will go to the US, and then it in return it will give you the video. The user can watch the video from here. But what is the edge location setup is telling here? Let's suppose in the middle AWS has given you one location, a basic location and a normal location nearby the Hyderabad. Let's say from Warangal. Warangal. Warangal is the edge location, for example. Warangal is the edge location, for example. So nearby the Warangal area, if anybody wants to watch this movie which is on Netflix, then what will happen? First of all, traffic will go to the edge location. Edge location. All the traffic will go to the edge location only. All the traffic will go to the edge location. But first traffic is different, other traffic is different. When the first traffic will go and it will try to find out the movie on edge location, then movie will not be there on the edge location. Movie will not be there on the edge location. Then the request will go to either this data center or this data center, which is into US or which is into Hyderabad, right? Then if request is going to Hyderabad data center, and you know whether the data is here or here, you know, because backend you are working. If you know that your customer is from this region also, if you know your customer is from, Warangal or around the Warangal or Andhra, you know that. It means that if movie is releasing into US, so Netflix is aware. Netflix can keep movies here into this data center also, or he can keep the movie here. So let's suppose they did not keep the movie here in Hyderabad, because Hyderabad is have full with the Hindi movies, Tollywood movie, other movies. But the request will go to US data center now. In this request, in return, it will provide the movie to the edge location. And then the same request respond will go to the first user. Now first user will face little delay, because response is not coming from edge location, it is coming from data center of the US location. So what will happen? First user will face little delay. But what about other user? If other user will make the request, it will always hit, because first user requested here, data was not here, so it got missed. And then it traveled to US data center, it took the data, and after that it came to the edge location, and after that it has delivered to the first user. So first, for the first user, data will get missed. But for remaining user, they can watch the movie from this edge location only. They can watch the movie from this edge location. You know, guys, the cache memory. Sometime we used to say cache memory or cache memory. You know about it? So it is just like the same. If one user is accessing something from any region which is far away from this edge location, so the request will come to this edge location, a response will come to this edge location, and data will store into the cache data. It will store as a cache data, and they all will be able to access the movies, the data from this cache data. So what data we are storing into edge location? Case data, whatever data you are telling, right? Did you understand? And in short, we used to call pointer present. Pointer present means your data is present over here also. And let's try to take another example. Let's say we are talking about Flipkart, right? Flipkart. This is reason one. Within this region, you do have multiple availability zone. In this availability zone, you do have data center. Now, what you did, you kept your entire data into this data center, right? And nearby the customer, they are using. But what if somebody is far away from here? So in the middle of it, they will keep a points of present. So now everybody's traffic will directly go to this points of presence, this point of present, and from here only everybody will get the response, right? Means providing a nearest part of data center, you can say. Point of present is nothing but it is a part of data center which will be very close to the user. So now if you see the global distribution of AWS in terms of regions, availability zone and points of presence. So first of all, it will start from a region. Within a region, you will be having availability zone. Within the availability zone, you will be having your data center, and POP, points of presence, or edge location. This will be given to you by AWS, right? And user cannot do anything into this. User cannot modify region, availability zone. User can only use all these things. Now what user will get? User will get compute services, networking services, storage on these data centers. And on that user can use platform services like database, analytics, app service, development and management services, mobile services. And the examples like your database example is NoSQL, our relational database. Here you can use data warehouse. Here you can use queuing or orchestration, AP streaming. Here container and mobile services. On the top of it you can use virtual machines and some of administration work also. So overall the scenario is so simple to understand. So you will distribute like this. Region, within the region you will be having multiple availability zone. Within multiple availability zone you will be having multiple data center. In some you do have one, in some you do have more than one. And as you can see in the data center part, it is telling us they are a location where the actual physical data resides in the data processing occurs. Means actual computer or actual IT resources you will be getting into that data center. And they are having the physical server approximate 50,000 to 80,000 server. And all the data centers are online all the time. If the data center is not online or not getting used, we used to call it as a cold data center. So in cloud there is no any cold data center. And data center contain AWS custom network equipment. AWS will be keeping their own network equipment for using it. And multi-original design manufacturer source hardware. That is ODM. ODM is multi-original design manufacturer. Let's say Intel. Intel is one company. Now multi-original means if Intel is manufacturing processor for customer, and the same Intel is manufacturing processor for cloud provider. Now think, multi-original. Now Intel is original. Multi means for customer in cloud provider also. Design manufacturer means this is the Intel who do design for both customer in, these all are the customer in the CSP cloud service providers also. From their cloud providers are taking the hardware. That is the mean of telling. Multi-original design manufacturers sourced hardware they are using. Means Intel, and we do have AMD, their processors they are using. Like the same router of Cisco they are using. But they are manufacturing, the Intel and Cisco, they are manufacturing same, like what do you say, either you can say switches, routers, or you can say processors. They are manufacturing the same, but it will be different hardware that will have, the different speed, different in terms of your hardware component. It will be much more stronger, and a lot of things will be there. It will be completely different from our processor, the processor they are using, but manufacturer is same. In custom network protocol stack, they are also using. Custom means customized network protocol stack. Amazon's also using to, because they are only the, network partner for the each country network service provider. In different country, different network service providers are there. They are making up the partnership with them, and they are using a custom network protocol to, communicate from customers to the cloud. Seen this availability zone. Availability zone is made up of one or more data center. In one availability zone, you can keep either one data center or more than one data center. So within this availability zone, we do have four data center, and are designed for fault isolation. Means this will be separate. This will be separate. In availability zones are interconnected with each other. That's why when I said low latency low latency, it means that they are internally connected. That's why the speed is very fast. Do not get confused in between a fault isolation. Fault isolation means if fault will come into first data center, the same fault will not go into second data center. When we say fault isolation, availability zones are designed for fault isolation, means if fault will come into the first availability zone like this, if this is your region, and in this region there are two availability zone, so if fault is coming into AZ1, it will not reflect to AZ2. AZ2 will be working as it is. That is the meaning of fault isolation. Faults are isolated, that's it. And like the same, it is telling us interconnected with the high speed private link. It will be a private link within the availability zones. It is data center, but here it will be a private link to provide you the fast speed. You can choose your availability zone, and you can replicate your data as per your need. Reason I have told you, in availability zone right now, within almost all the 35 regions are available, and AZs are somewhat around 111, I guess. And see, region is geographic area. Region made up of two or more than two availability zone. AWS is having 35 uh, worldwide region, and you can replicate also across region, and you can communicate between region by using AWS backbone network connection. Means they AWS will provide some network. If you need, you can use that. Now the biggest challenge where the biggest challenge which we do face is selecting a reason. It's not biggest challenge. You should know which reason you have to select. So what happens generally, guys? Each country, your reason will be either within the country, not either, it will be within the country. Your reason will be within the any country. So there will be some data governance and legal requirements, because there will be within the country, state, there will be some jurisdictions, and overall there will be law. There will be law of each country, so that particular reason will follow the local law of that particular country. For example, let's suppose in india in the year 2000, 2019-20, in between of it, indian government has given notice to Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, in TikTok they have closed. So these companies, Twitter, these company, Indian government has given a notice that if you need to work in India, then your office should be here, your designated office should be here, and there should be some person who will be who will be the stakeholder of that office, so that if any problem comes to Indians just because of these social media platforms, then they can do a complaint on this company in Indian court, in Indian court. Before it, if you need to do a case on Facebook, if you need to do a case on Twitter, you have to go into international court. But now you can do the case from here itself. So everybody started follow the rule. And now they all are having their office. If any problem comes, they anybody can do the complaint. Anybody can file FIR on this company directly here in India. And the main purpose was main purpose of issuing this notice was, to find out the source of messages, who is, deviating the law, who is, doing some illegal stuff by using this platform. So the main purpose was to find out that. Like the same in Russia. In Russia, USSR, in Russia, if you are, if Rus in Russia, if uh, anyone, any company or anything, any data, any data, if you are giving to anybody, or if anybody is taking any data from you, so everybody has to give the consent, like I am giving this data to this particular person, in that particular organization will say this is my consent and I am asking your data, I will not use for any other purpose. That kind of things, that kind of rules, regulations is important whenever you are selecting the reason. That is one thing. And second is proximity to customers. Means, where is your customer? Let's suppose your customer is into London. Your customers are there in London. So your data center should also be in the London. So what will happen? This will distribute, customer can easily reach to this data center, right? That is the proximity, that is latency. And the third point is, in all region of AWS, all services are not available. All services are not available in all the regions. So you have to check whether whatever service you want to use, it is available in that region or not. In the cost will also vary by region. So these all are the four specific parameter which will affect, or you can say this is the four parameter which will be the reason of selecting your region. Region of region, reason and reason. This is reason, this is reason. So these all are the five reason for you to select your reason. Okay, got it? Is it clear to everybody? Now Siddiqui was telling, Adnan was telling to repeat the POP and edge location. Let's say, Adnan, for example, if you keep your data, or let's do not keep the data and all. Let's upload your data into S3 bucket. S3 is the bucket where we do upload the data. You have uploaded a video. Now whenever you are watching this video by using the URL which has been given to you by AWS, you are using this URL, you are watching this video. Now you are watching, there are so many people again they are watching the video. So a lot of traffic will go to this S3 and it will not able to deliver that much faster the data. Then you will be using a edge location in the middle. Now customers are here nearby the edge location. So if the traffic will come, traffic for the first customer, traffic will go to this edge location only. Data will not be here, so it will get missed. But once the data will come from S3 to this edge location, now if these people needs to access the data, then for them it will be very fast, because from customer to the edge location, this will be the least distance. This will be the least distance. So data transfer will be very fast. Data transfer will be very fast. And we used to call it content delivery, delivery, content delivery network. Means edge location is a location from where you are increasing the content delivery. Means from one particular location you can distribute your data to multiple users with high speed. When I am telling distribute the data, means responses. If the client will look for few responses, for that they will make the request, so that the CDN, we used to call CDN will increase the distribution of your data. You can see here it is telling points of presence are used with the CloudFront, a global content delivery network that deliver content to the user with the reduced latency. That's it. I hope you understand, Adnan. For that we are using a service. You have to configure. You have to configure those. You have to configure. There will be, the normal speed. Let's say this is the normal speed. If the data delivery or video is streaming speed will be the normal, you are able to manage with it. You are able to manage with it. But whenever a lot of traffic will start coming, but that time it will create the problem. So what you will do, you have to set up separately. You have to set up separately, and it is chargeable also. So for that, AWS offer one service called CloudFront, and um, Azure offers a door something back door or door. It is door we used to call door there in Azure. Here we used to call CloudFront. For example, let's suppose I'll give you the biggest example. You all are aware about Chat GPT. So Chat GPT, how they are managing, let's say in different states, different people, different working people, there are student, they are doing different type of query into the Chat GPT. There are working employee in different company, they are doing different query. There are kids, they are doing different query. There are company, they are doing different query. Like the same, there are so many number of people who are doing the query from Chat GPT. Now how the Chat GPT will answer? If there will be one data center, if there will be one data center, and if they will start to distribute their answer from here to everybody, it will take time. So as per the user, let's say these all are the user, These all are the user. They are close to this particular edge location, and these user are from same locality. So somewhat, I'm not telling all. Somewhat the prompt of their question will be same. Somewhat, right? So this query will go to this edge location and it will respond. So chat gpt is using a cdn part that we used to call cloud flyer. Let's verify it once from the chat gpt itself. Chat gpt, we can ask what cdn do you use. Don't directly use cdn, the organization behind me, but you can see ChatGPT is very smart, guys. It will not give you the answer directly. See what it is telling. There is an organization behind me. In there, obviously, you are ChatGPT. You are not cloud computing or CSP, cloud service provider. So obviously you have to use. But it took so much serious, saying like this user is telling me directly what do you use. So the prompt mistake. But even though you are able to get the answer, Cloudflare by Akamai. Cloudflare by Akamai is the content delivery network of ChatGPT. I have seen one, a picture Chai GPT. Chai GPT. People are selling tea on the name of Chai GPT. All right, guys. So it is also used for distributing the content to the user, uh, to increase the low latency so that user can get the data very fast. AWS global infrastructure. It is the most secure, expensive. Sorry, not expensive, extensive. But I am not wrong. It is also expensive as compared to other cloud providers. Perfect. So it is having 35 launched reason. How many reasons we do have, guys? 35 launched reason. 111 availability zones are there. 600 plus cloud front POPs points of presence in 13 regional edge caches. Means regionally also they are collecting the cache data. So if you need to see somewhat more detail in the same, so AWS is having 111 cloud availability zone within 35 geographic region, and they have announced 50 more availability zone and 5 more AWS region in Mexico, New Zealand, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, and European sovereign cloud. Right? So these all are the 5 they are about to launch, but 35 is available, right? And some they are covering 245 countries and territories served. 245 countries, guys. How many countries we do have total? How many total? How many countries? 245 countries, people. And it is on the AWS website. See, aws.amazon.com. So if you will write government exam by using these websites, you will become fail. We are not going to write government exams, guys, but just consider 245 countries and territories, both including both, it is telling, I guess. So from here if you see there is a magic quadrant of Gartner is a NGO. It is an agency, guys, which will give you, absolute absolute result of any cloud, not only of cloud, guys, not only of cloud. I'll just take 5 minutes from you all on Gartner so that easily you can understand what exactly Gartner is. So Gartner is an NGO agency. It is an NGO, or you can say it is a organization, firm, or agency. It used to release the performance of each IT product, IT product, or you can say a comparison performance of each IT product. Let's suppose you can get, if you do have a question, let's say if you do have a question which is best antivirus, which is best firewall, which is best SIEM tool, which is best data analytics software, which is best this, that, and all. Like the same, my question is which is best cloud. So this Gartner agency, Gartner will provide you the quadratic report. Quadratic report means quarter of each year. Now, this will give you the report based on two axes, x axis and y axis. And on x axis, it will be coming as a completeness of vision. Completeness of vision. And on y axis, it will say ability to execute. Ability to execute. So it will create a graph as compare. It will create a graph comparing both of the things, completeness of vision and ability to execute. Means whether they have committed something, they are able to complete their vision or not. And what is the ability to execute? Means whether they are able to execute easily or not. For that, they are giving a report. In that report, AWS is always on top in infrastructure from 2006 onwards till 2025. Till now, AWS is on top. If you talk about cloud, and second is Azure, third is GCP, fourth is IBM. These all are the top three player, and after that IBM, Alibaba, Salesforce, all other cloud will come into the picture. And if you need to check it, if you need to check it also, guys, you can just do Google by saying Gartner Magic Quadrant report on cloud or best cloud in 2023 infrastructure. So infrastructure, let's keep 23, this one it is coming, and 24 also you can check because we came into 25. So rather than going to any website, you can click on images, you will get multiple images like the same, and you can open any one of it. So leader in 2023 Gartner report says AWS is on top. Can you see, guys? But there is a big change. Because I am doing the same, so I know that, guys, there is a big change. The leaders were only three: AWS, Microsoft, Google, but now Oracle is also one of the competitor for these three cloud providers. But you can see some of niche player. Niche player means what? Niche or niche player we used to call. They are very comfortable in terms of competition. They are not doing the competition. They are at their comfortable place like Alibaba, IBM, Huawei Cloud, Tencent Cloud. They are, the niche player. But leaders are top three. Now leaders are four: Oracle, Google, Microsoft, but AWS is on top. So if you need to give the reference like which cloud is best, so you can use this reference. And it is unbiased organization, guys. It is unbiased organization. Unbiased organization. And nobody can, do a small complaint saying Gartner is biased with respect to any company. Not only in cloud. If you need to get the Gartner report on antivirus or on firewall, you can also get it. Which one is the best firewall in 2024? Your answer is Fortinet. Fortinet, and then Cisco, then Broadcom. So this is how you can do the comparison whenever you are selecting the cloud. I hope you understand this document, guys. Whatever the things you have gone In AWS services and service categories, guys, it will give you almost all the services in service categories. But what service categories we have to learn, how many service categories we have to learn, it will also give you clarity on it. That particular the same document will give you the clarity on it. So as I have told you, there are so many service categories which we do have here into the AWS. For example, analytics, application integration, AR, VR, blockchain, and all so many. But out of it, which we are going to learn into this session. So you can say which are into the square box that we are going to learn, into this training program. So it will start from compute. It is online session, then why I am shouting, guys? Uh, Am I audible to everybody? Sorry, guys. Sorry. I went in a flow of offline session. Sorry. So, here we do have compute. One, it is one box. AWS cost management, container, database, which is into the box that only we are going to learn. So, how many we do have? One, two, three, four, and remaining four. Total, it is eight service categories we are going to learn. Right? Eight service categories which we are going to learn. And see, in storage service categories, there are multiple types of storage services we do have. Like we do have S3. S3 is a kind of object storage. Let's say if any object, if you need to upload into the cloud, you can upload this object into the cloud and it will give you an URL you can access by using the URL, or if you need to make it private, you can. Just a second, guys. Feeling some kind of pain above the stomach. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay, so let's continue. When we talk about object, so any type of object, like either you are bringing up, image, video, or audio, any kind of object you can upload into the S3, and it will give you one URL. By using that URL, you can access. It's up to you whether you want to make it public or private. And we do have direct attached storage also. Direct attached storage in your virtual machine. If you need to add any storage like direct attached storage SSD or HDD hard disk, you can use this service, EBS service, and you can add. If you need file storage type of storage where within a network, if you do have multiple uh, computers and they want to access a file from a centralized place, so you can set up that. If you need for archive, you can use Glacier. So many types of storage we do have, guys, which you will be learning into the storage part. And when we talk about compute is another service categories. It will deal with the computational power. It will deal with the computational power. Computational power. Now the meaning of computational power is all about the same, where you will be getting the virtual hardware stuff like your RAM, like your ROM, like your what do we say, CPU and all. So you can get EC2 instance where you will be creating virtual machine. You can auto scale by using auto scaling. You can get a platform. This is IaaS service, infrastructure as a service. This is a platform as a service. You can keep your code and it will host your application. You do have serverless service called Lambda. You can give your code and it will host your application, number of traffic, how much traffic it will come, it will run your code and it will deliver the application. Like so many things are there into that. So different types of services we do have here under the compute. Next, we do have container service categories. So under the container, we do have, it is a lightweight. It is just like your virtual machine. It is also used to host the application. And we do have container service. We do have registry kind of image as we are using EMI there. Here you will be using registry to store the image. And here we do have Kubernetes service, which will manage the scaling process, scaling part of your container. And we do have separate service which will be completely serverless for container, that is Fargate. So again, in each service category, you will be getting services which will perform the work uh, are related to the same service category. Here we do have database. So if you need relational database, you can use RDS service. If you need very fast speed, you can use Aurora. Aurora initially it was of AWS. Now AWS made it is up open, so anybody can use Aurora. Does not require license. This is your data warehouse service under the database. This is for NoSQL DynamoDB we used to call for NoSQL service, right? And moving further, if you see into the same, we will be discussing one service only, guys. And in the networking, this is your virtual network which will you define exactly in the cloud, how you are going to balance the traffic, how you are going to deliver the content very fast to the user, how you are going to create a transit gateway so that you can communicate from local to public or public to local, like that you can create a gateway. Route 53, if you need to register the DNS, domain name server, or if you need to do the traffic management work, for that you can use, either, or if you need to register the domain also you can use Route 53. AWS Direct Connect is there. If you don't want to use internet and you want to access AWS, they do provide you the Direct Connect options. And they do give you the client VPN solutions also. And these all things we are going to learn, guys, into this training. I'm just giving you the name related to the security. As you can see, the first thing which you are going to learn under this is IAM, identity and access management. If we create one AWS account, we used to become the root user or owner of the AWS account. And being the owner, if you want to create some other user, they will be the IAM user and then group and then role and then some other things will come into this. And then organization will come. When multiple root accounts, if you need to manage centrally, organization, you do have Cognito solutions for single sign-in. Artifact, you do have KMS, you do have AWS Shield. This is for security purpose. Different tools we do have. As you can see, Cognito will give you single sign-on or sign-up solution. Artifact will just give you the compliance reports. KMS will give you the key so that you can encrypt and decrypt the data. AWS Shield will protect you from the DDoS attack. And then we do have AWS cost management service categories where you will be seeing the cost and uses report. You can set up your budget and you can explore which particular service is charging how much, right? And then management and governance service category. Overall, if you are using any service categories or service of AWS, how you are going to manage that, those entire things you will be able to see here, like AWS Management Console. By using the management console, we are using AWS. And then we do have config. You can set up the configuration of your resource, which should be created, which should be not, what all are the rule regulation, you can check it out. It's a kind of configuration. Let's say if you do not want to create anything, but by mistake if somebody is creating, this will check it. CloudWatch, you do have the entire operations of each resource and service. You can check it out by using CloudWatch. It will monitor. Auto scaling is for auto scaling purpose. CLI for command line internet purpose. AWS Trusted Advisor will give you the best recommendation based on your cost optimization and fault tolerance and reliability and efficiency, multiple things. It will give you the recommendation. And then well architecture tools we have seen already, like your cloud adoption framework and well architectured framework, like that. Cloud trial is used to track the user activity, like the same. These are the tools are available, guys. As you can see, there is an activity which we have to perform, like we have to open this console and we have to check each option of the console, and after that we can just complete this part, right? And it is just telling about something into this activity, guys, like launch the sandbox hands-on environment, connect the AWS management console. You can go in service, you can go to the compute. Question number, what service category is the IAM service in? So IAM is into which service category? You can say security, compliance, and security, identity and compliance. Yeah, management. And Amazon VPC is into the networking and content delivery. Yeah, networking. Like the same, these are small. An existing VPC is already selected. That is against the default VPC will be given to you all the time, guys, so that you will be able to create the resource directly into the cloud. So there is nothing which has been left it out here. And now I'll bring you directly into the I'll bring you directly into the lab. Your console. In the console, if you want to see home, you can click on AWS. From here, you can navigate to any services. These three bar which is coming here, you can go to your application or my services. So it will give you almost all the services, not almost all the service. You will be able to get it from here. If you need to click on any service, you can click and use. Or there is also one services menu has been given here also. You can see it based on your service categories. These are service categories, and if you click on any service categories, you will be getting the services based on that service category. So this is the services which are coming under the compute category. Now, let's say if you do not want to go, you do not want to travel, like you search something. Let's say if I need to search EC2, simply I can type EC2 here and I can directly click here. It will bring me directly on the EC2. After that, we do have here, Cloud Shell, guys. Cloud Shell is again a shell. Shell is not exactly the shell. Shell is the environment by that you are going to interact with the user is going to interact with the shell, and further shell will interact with the operating system, or inside the operating system, if you do have kernel, it will interact with the kernel, or indirectly you can say it will interact with your hardware. So there is a shell, you are talk to the shell is further talking to the kernel or operating system. Being very simple, shell is used to talk to user as well as operating system. So here it is a cloud shell. If we are using AWS, like the same, if you need to use AWS by using some commands, CLI, you can use this cloud shell. Here is the notification bell. You will be getting the notifications related to your billing, related to any specific announcement. You will get the notification here. And this is the help and support. If you need any support, you can get the support from here, from the AWS. If you need to get good support, then you have to pay for it. There are four types of support AWS gives you: basic support, developer support, uh, business support, and enterprise support. Basic support will be always in the free of cost. And here we do have appearance, guys. Appearance. What exactly you want to see? If you want to see into the dark mode, you can make it as a dark. If you want to see into light, you can make it loud light, browser default if you want to make it like this. So you can see some other settings also here, so that you will be able to see how the AWS is looking out, means the dashboard, the console. And then this is your reason. We have gone through the reason, guys, before it. This is your reason. Now, what is reason? Reason is a geographic area which is isolated with another reason which will provide the best possible fault tolerance. So, if I'll tell you, see how many number of reason we have. So, you can start counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is into United States. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. In Canada, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 plus 14. 17 plus 14, how much? 31. 31 reason you are able to see here. 31 only you are able to see. But if you will be checking out your own account, if you do have AWS account, so there you will be having 2, 3 more, because we are using almost free tier. And one more thing, guys, if you know there are few reasons which cannot be accessed by Indians just because of their rule regulations. There will be few, one or two, and some reason AWS is using for themselves only. So overall total for now you consider 35. Out of it you can see here, these all are the reason. These all are the reason, and these all are hidden as per this lab provider. This is hidden as per the lab provider. There is nothing any other reason. Lab provider has hide these reason, right? So total for now 35 reasons are there. Here you can use Mumbai or any one reason you can use. But the company who is providing us the lab here, they have given you only one reason to access, and that reason is United States Oregon. This reason, US West 2. US West 2. So in United States there are two reasons. US East 1 and US East 2, like the same US West 1 and US West 2. These all are the reason we used to represent by a small letter and with the number. Reason we used to represent by a small letter with the number. Availability zone we used to represent by the same reason name along with A, B, C, D. If let's suppose US East is having three availability zone, so the availability zone name will come US East A, US East B, US East C. Like the same, if Ohio is your region, means US East 2 is your region, so your availability zone will come US East 2A, US East 2B, US East 2C. For example, let's say what is our reason right now? Any guess? Anybody can tell me what is our reason? No. Here I'm asking, here, console. What is our reason? US West 2, which is United States Oregon. Now, if you need to see how many availability zones are there, or as per this reason, what will be the name of availability zone. So, if I click on the reason, you can see US West 2A is the name of, so US is 2 is the name of reason, right? Now, if you need to see availability zone, I will show you. You can check it out later on also, because it does it is not the best zone, but I am showing you from there. Uh, what we do create subnets within unknown availability zones. So I'm just showing subnets to show you availability zone. So you need not to go through this. You need to just understand the name only, nothing else. So can you see this names, guys? Can you see this name availability zone? Yep, which is US West 2A, which is US West 2B, 2A again, 2D, 2B, 2C, these all are the availability zone only. These all are availability zone only which are coming uh, within this region. So 2A is one because here you have used multiple subnet. So it is 2A is one only. 2A is one availability zone. 2B is second one. 2C is third one. 2D is the fourth one. 2D, 2E, 2F, like that it will be coming. 6 or 7 is into the North Virginia. The highest number of availability zone is into the North Virginia. If you go to the North Virginia, you have the highest availability zone, number of availability zone. So let it load once. I'll show you. They do also have six, it seems. See here. US East 1A, US East 1B, US East 1C, US East 1D, 1E, and 1F. So total is six. They do have six availability zone. Now in each availability zone they will be having more than so many data centers they do have. How to do keep I will tell you once we will be starting deploying some resource in the same. So this is your region and availability zone, guys. And this is your account detail. If you create AWS account, so here you will be having your name. In each account, you will be having a account ID. Account ID is nothing but it is the ID of the account which you have created. And in the same, you can see the organization. If your account belongs to any organization, let's say in company, what happens? There is a company, so there are so many people using, so many AWS account, but each account will be connected with one organization so that only one billing account will be there for all the accounts like that. There are so many service quotas and billing and cost management you will be able to do from here. If you need to delete the account or sign out also from here, you can go in setting and you can perform. And this is what we do have on the console, guys.